Today it's a pleasure to have Faris Aranki here, a consulting firm owner focused on sharpening individual and business effectiveness. Welcome.
Thank you, Antonis. It's a real pleasure to be with you and all the listeners, viewers today. I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Great to have you here. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your background, Faris?
Yeah, I've got a very varied background, Antonis. I've been a school teacher before. I've worked for a big oil and gas company. I was a consultant for many years, and now I'm a owner of my own business. Have been for the last 5 years. I've also been a journalist for a little bit. I worked for the police. But yeah, my main focus now is all on getting teams working better together to make better decisions.
What's the biggest game changer for your business in the past year, let's say 2024?
Oh, the biggest game changer. I think in the last year, so 5 years running my business now, game changer is twofold. One is my own mindset. I'm so much more comfortable running the business. I know what I'm doing now. I still feel like I'm making a lot of stuff up. But second, we're beginning to have a bit of a brand. It's so nice that people have heard of us. People are beginning to Google us. And that just takes time to establish. So, combining those two things is definitely a game changer.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the personal brand? Many people confuse personal branding with marketing. That's why I'm asking.
Hey, let's be honest, right? When you're a small business, your personal brand is massive, right? People are buying you as much as they're buying the company. And then you've got this challenge of, if you do grow, is separating your brand from the company's brand. And a lot of people don't handle that. And I must admit, I could be better at it. But because, I still get some situations where clients are buying the company and they expect me to turn up, and then I send one of the team and they're like, oh, we thought we were getting Faris. And then you can see. So you've got to start to make a distinction. But certainly in the early days, it is all about your brand. So don't be afraid to grow it. Be yourself in the marketplace.
I see. Is there a mistake that you made in the past year that you learned about?
I make mistakes every week, Antonis.
Like everyone. I know.
Like everyone, and it's how we learn and it's how we grow. God, I mean, so many mistakes. I've written I write a weekly blog, and I wrote an 8-part series about the mistakes that I've made.
All right.
It just in the first year of my business. Probably the biggest mistake is how you communicate with people. Early days, you realize, you don't realize, but you tend to talk too much about yourself. And you go, oh, I can do this, the company can do that, and people don't care, right? People care about themselves, right? They want to hear how you can help them, not what you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
So that was a big mistake that I made, and I'm glad I corrected it, because otherwise I wouldn't still be here today, I'm sure.
Yeah, makes sense. Is there a question you get asked most often about your business?
I get asked loads of questions. A common one is, why did you call it a Japanese word? Okay, my company is called Shiageto, which is, I'm not Japanese. I don't have any Japanese investment. I don't have a Japanese methodology, but I call it Shiageto because Shiageto is the Japanese word for a sharpening stone. So if you've ever had a knife you need to sharpen, you may have used a Shiageto. And that's because it's a metaphor. It's what we do for companies. We help sharpen people, companies. So I just really liked the metaphor. And also I own some Japanese knives. So I was one day sharpening.
Nice.
And I was like, this is a perfect, link.
I got a katana, by the way.
That is Japanese, and that's probably sharpened on a Shiageto in traditional Japan, ancient Japan. Yeah, I mean, once I started exploring this, I read so much about stones, about blades, Japanese culture. It's a big thing over there. So, good for you owning a katana. What do you use it for, Antonis?
Well, it's decoration.
It's decoration. Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah.
A trainee samurai.
Now every time somebody's listening or talking about a Japanese sword or knife, they're gonna be thinking about your business, right?
There you go. Right, exactly. I like the beautiful connection.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
Branding. So,
yeah.
is there a piece of advice you would give to your younger self starting out as an entrepreneur?
Starting out as myself is just be more comfortable with failure. Yeah, ask more questions, try more things, and just get comfortable with that, because that's the hallmark of a good business. You know, when I started this business, it was very frustrating, not just because I was starting a business, but also because I started 6 months before COVID. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that COVID was coming around the business. And what that meant for me and my company is we had no work for 6 months. And actually we lost a lot of work that got cancelled.
Yeah.
So it was really tough times at the start. So I would tell the younger me, saying it's going to be okay in 5 years. You're going to have a great company, but you just have to get through this.
Yeah. I see. In terms of you starting the business, how many years are you in business now?
So 5 years, almost exactly, that I've been running the company.
All right. So how's the progress been over those 5 years for you?
So the first year we had a little bit of growth, then COVID happened and everything fell off a cliff. So we effectively started again, the business from zero. And then the next 2 years were amazing. We'd like doubled in size. We grew really, really quickly, and that was the difference. Went from being me to having a team, having lots of clients. And then the last year has been a bit flatter in terms of growth, but we're still growing. And it feels so different now, from day one when it was just me sat in a room going, what am I going to do, to now in me and the team. We have a whole bunch of regular clients that we work with year on year. So it definitely feels like a proper business now, but there's still so much room to grow. And I'm super excited for the next 5 years.
Yeah. Would you say there is going to be a point in the future or in the past for some people, let's say, if you see yourself at a point where you say, you know what, I'm grateful, that's enough, I'm going to stay here, I don't want to grow anymore?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I never did this to grow an empire. I didn't do it I did it actually out of boredom and to do something new. And it's only because it's been successful that I've decided, right, I'm going to grow it, but I'm only going to grow it to like 20 people, right? I still don't want a giant company, because the number one important thing for me is how much fun I'm having every week. I measure it every Friday with me and the team, right? And if I'm not having fun, then why am I doing this? Right? So, and
that's
I know
understandable.
that if it became thousands of people, I wouldn't have the same fun that I have today, and the ability and the degrees of freedom. So that's not something I'm looking to do.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about. It's business is people, right? So you need to invest time and have fun with your people, especially in business. Exactly. Okay, let's get in the bonus section. So there, I'll say a word or a phrase, and you must reply with the first thought that comes to your mind. One word if possible.
Okay. Wow.
Make sense?
Intense. Yeah, we can do this.
Good. Consulting firm.
Awesome.
Business effectiveness.
Sharp.
Individual effectiveness.
Hard.
Personal brand.
Important but egotistical.
Entrepreneurship.
Should be taught in school.
Yes, I agree with that last one so much. Let's start from the beginning though. It's from consulting firm.
Right. A lot of people think consulting firms are, a consultant will steal your watch and tell you the time. Right. But consultants are very expensive attempts to solve problems that you usually can't be bothered or don't know how to solve. And when you're in a consulting firm, you learn more in 1 year than you probably do in 5 years in a regular job. So I am really grateful for the years I spent in consulting firms, because it really accelerated. It was hard work. A lot of it was boring, but I learned so much in that time. That is just, is awesome for me personally.
Yes. So business effectiveness, the second one. You said sharp, but in individual effectiveness, you said hard. So it's different, isn't it?
Yes. Right. It's that classic thing. Actually, sometimes influencing teams is easier than influencing an individual. right? Because teams and businesses, if you can get social pressure and you can get it's a momentum, but some human beings are very stubborn, and we are really hard at changing our habits, right? And a lot of effectiveness is down to habits and breaking patterns of things you've done in the past, right? How you communicate, right? How much you listen, how focused you are. And so when you're surrounded by others, they can carry the slack, and that's why sort of team effectiveness and business effectiveness. But that's why I said it's a lot harder sometimes for the individual.
Yeah, I see. So personal brand, you said egotistical, and something else.
Important but egotistical. Yeah, I said important but egotistical. Yeah. Right. Let's face it. In the modern world, we are so inundated with so much noise. Right. You scroll on social media, you think how many messages you're getting every day. So being able to stand out is important, and that's where you're the personal brand. It also displays trust and confidence. But why I said egotistical is it's very easy to slip into thinking it's the most important thing in the world. How many likes am I getting? How many people are viewing my stuff? And it's not actually about that. It's about the quality of the conversation. So you need a bit of it. It is important, but you shouldn't go too far. It's a slippery slope. And I see too many people going too far.
So you need to learn how to control it, yeah?
Yeah, and your emotions towards it.
I see, makes sense. And entrepreneurship, you said...
should be taught in schools, right?
Oh, yeah. My favorite one. Yeah.
Your favorite one, your face lit up when I said it. You're like...
Yes.
Yeah, I think the more people can be, entrepreneurship for me means creativity, means problem solving, means never sort of seeing something and feeling defeated.
Yes.
And I think that would serve everyone, even if you don't go and start a business. I think just being able to think entrepreneurially and have that mindset of, do you know what? This is a challenge. I'm going to find a way through. Right? Should be taught from an early age, because it will help in so many aspects of life. But unfortunately, we can't leave it for individuals to try and pick up their own entrepreneurialistic skills.
I see. Yeah, especially the problem-solving part of it. I think that's really important. Maybe the most important. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, the more you can solve problems, and problem solving doesn't mean you need to be the person who can do everything, right? Sometimes problem solving is knowing when and who to go to help you with your problem. Yeah,
teamwork. I love it.
Teamwork,
Yeah. Any last words from Faris before we close the pod?
Be more entrepreneurialistic. What underpins entrepreneurialism is great listening skills and great curiosity. So if you can just, if everyone could listen 10% more and ask one more question in life each day, you'll be doing better, and you'll be moving closer towards being an entrepreneur.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Faris, for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Fred.
And that was Faris Aranki, ladies and gentlemen.